What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video here at Chris's MMA Universe. So for this video here, I just want to talk about UFC 252, which happens August 15th, which is the big trilogy in the UFC with Daniel Cormier versus Stipe Miocic for the UFC heavyweight strap. I mean, this is highly anticipated because of how the fights ended for both men. Now, for actually, Daniel Cormier getting the knockout and then Stipe Miocic getting the knockout. I mean, it's not like, sometimes trilogies go on where, somebody won a decision, but somebody finished the other guy, and then they go into a trilogy where, it's like where you have a rematch. Let's just forget trilogies just for a minute. But you have a rematch, and then, yes, they do end up having the trilogy sometimes, or they end up having the rubber match. But for the rematch, when they fight a second time, and you get finished, let's use Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz, for example. Conor McGregor got finished by Nate Diaz. We all know the story. He ended up rear naked choking him. And then Conor McGregor came back. Now, I know it's controversial. A lot of people think Nate Diaz won that fight, but let's forget about that. Ultimately, Conor McGregor got the nod for the second fight. So, yes, he did win, but who wants to win the rematch that way, right? I mean, yes, he won the fight, but it wasn't a finish, and then, he got finished. So, ultimately, yes, you did win the second fight. You did win the rematch. But no one wants to get a rematch that way. People want to finish. Of course, that's what Conor McGregor would have wanted. I mean, everybody wants it, right? Everybody wants to finish their opponent. But, to win that way, yeah. But now we're thinking of this fight here. This is the fight that we're talking about. Both men finished each other. So that's what makes this one so highly anticipated. That's what makes this one so exciting. Cormier got the knockout. Stipe Miocic ended up finishing DC. It's like, I guess I look at that as a knockout. I mean, DC was out of it. DC was out of it and was left on the ground. I mean, after he was taking those body shots, then ended up getting finished with punches. Both men finished each other. That's the whole point here. So now going into this rematch, I am not making this video to leave a prediction. Because I got to be honest with you guys, I really do not know who's going to win this fight going into this. I mean, both men finished each other. We saw what was going on with the first fight. It ended very quickly in round one. DC knocking out Stipe. Now, Stipe ended up finishing Cormier later in the fight. So, in the beginning, DC was having some success in the second fight. Where it kind of it seemed like it was going to lean towards him. I mean, we see the strength difference. We see where Stipe Miocic was stronger than DC. We definitely saw that, but DC caught him with the knockout. Ultimately, round one finished it. Now, Stipe Miocic ended up making a switch. He ended up changing his game plan. He ended up making adjustments going into later rounds with DC when ultimately he fought, he ended up ending the fight. Really what made it happen was those body strikes. The body punches coming from Stipe to DC was what made the difference. Now, going into the second fight, I'm pretty sure everybody, just about everyone thought DC would win the fight because DC not only is just heavyweight is his natural weight class. Heavyweight is DC's natural weight class. Let's call it what it is. He does not belong in light heavyweight. He belongs in heavyweight. That is his natural weight class to be in. And when he ended up going into the fight with Stipe the first time, he was undefeated in heavyweight. I mean, the only defeat he has on his record is with John Jones, light heavyweight though. So he was undefeated in heavyweight going up against Stipe. Well, who's to think that he will lose, right? And he didn't. He did not lose. So going into the second fight, he ended up knocking out Stipe with minimal effort, it seemed like. That punch didn't even seem like it was the biggest strike, and it caught Stipe on the chin in the perfect sweet spot, dropped him, ended it. So going into the second fight, who would think different, right? DC's gonna go in there, control him, or and then ultimately just knock him out again, maybe, right? No. Everything was just different. I mean, you learn so much with the second fight. You learn how Stipe had this tremendous will to win and got in there and got it done. I mean, he was so happy. He was doing some weird dance at the end of it. It was a sight to see. I'm telling you. I just, for this third fight, I don't know who's going to win. I really do not know. I really want to know from you guys. I really want to know in the comments, who do you really think is going to win this fight? I cannot predict it. I really can't. I mean, I would have to say Stipe with his will to win, the way he went in there. I could say Stipe is going to win, but then I could say DC is going to. That's what's so great about this. They both got finishes on one another, finishes that they wanted, and it's so great to see this, because with both men finishing each other, they can easily go in there and finish each other again. Except I think Daniel Cormier went in there with some confidence, where at the press conference going into the second fight, DC said himself, I'm paraphrasing here, or roughly this is what DC said. He said he does not believe Stipe Miocic has what it takes to beat me. He just does not have what it takes, and he's going to get beat again. What happened? Stipe finished DC. So, of course, I'm pretty sure people were actually buying what DC was saying, because, he knocked him out already once already. He's undefeated in heavyweight. That's his natural weight class. We thought he was going to go in there and then just get it done again. But Stipe got it done the second time. So both men are going in once again for the trilogy. The trilogy ends here August 15th. And I really want to know what you guys think. Make sure you hit the like on this button. I cannot predict. I really cannot predict it. That's why I really want to hear the predictions from you guys. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you leave me some comments. I really want to know what you guys think. Make sure you subscribe. And I'll see all you guys in the next one.